Good evening, everybody. So I want to talk about making your own masks and what materials to use in follow-up to the other video about whether to mask or not. I've linked some resources below if you want to explore this in more detail, where people did testing of different fabrics and how well they worked. Essentially what you want is a balance between filtration ability, the ability to block droplets that carry the viral particles, and breathability. There's some materials like a HEPA vacuum bag you can make a mask out of. I'll talk a little more about that below. It's excellent filtration, as good as a surgical mask or better, but some people will have trouble breathing through it. So those are the basic characteristics of a good mask. It has to be a good balance between breathability and, whoops, I'm going the wrong way, breathability and filtration ability. So other things, it's got to fit well around your mouth and nose. It's got to be washable, or at least it has to be readily replaceable. Those are other characteristics. So number one fabric I would say that most people have lying around is a tea towel. A good dense tea towel that if you can sew, or if you want to cut it and do sort of a fold with rubber bands design. What you don't want is a really thin tea towel like this one. It's too dark in the woods here, I think, but you might be able to appreciate, you can see the light through that. This one is too thin. So more of a typical tea towel. Number two, there's a good video below and some others on the internet about making a no-sew design out of a t-shirt by cutting it, and you cut little straps. But what you want is a cotton blend t-shirt. You can do it out of 100% cotton, but it doesn't filter as well, apparently, as the cotton blend. Number three, some other fabrics that a lot of you have around the house are high thread count sheets, or like this, or pillowcases, at least 600 thread count or higher. Some of you also have quilting fabric, which one or two people tested in their little studies, and it tends to be a tight weave, so quilting fabric can be another good choice. If you can still breathe through a couple of layers of this, that 2 layers are better than 1. So what else? Shop towels. Number 4, shop towels, you know those blue, really heavy duty sort of paper towel like things many of you have lying around. I think they've already flown off the shelves recently because people are making masks out of them, but they've been tested as well. I'll link that below. They filter very well. So if you have some of those lying around, that's another good option that you don't have to sew. Now, fifth option, this is quick and dirty. If you need to go out now and you don't have another mask, it doesn't filter very well. It's kind of at the bottom of the filtration efficiency list, is a bandana. They're quite thin. But what you can do to improve it is put a couple of coffee filters, fold those into where your mouth and nose are when you fold up your bandana. That can really improve. You could put a couple of those in, and the CDC actually has a little tutorial on that, along with a t-shirt, cutting up a t-shirt. So that's how you can make a bandana work for you. So again, back to the HEPA vacuum bags. This doc is using them, his wife is making them, and there's a great tutorial there. It's pretty labor intensive, and I think the reality is a lot of people will find a vacuum bag difficult to breathe through. But unlike what some of the stuff on social media and the news says, Apparently they don't have dangerous fiberglass fibers in them and so on that you have to be worried about inhaling. Apparently that's not true. So if you want to do that and you can breathe through them, go for it. So ideally, again, the characteristics of a good mask, you can breathe through it, but it still has good filtration ability. Below are some references with good graphics and tables about how different fabrics work in terms of the balance between filtration efficiency and breathability. Some tutorials. You want to be able to wash the mask or at least discard it and make a new one easily. Same cautions as before. You want to make sure that if you don't touch the front of the mask, you remove it from behind your ears or the back of your head. If you do touch the mask and when you remove it, immediately want to wash your hands. Also, ideally would be able to put something bendy like this. This is too long, but you could cut it and incorporate it into your mask. So like bend it around your nose, kind of like a surgical mask. Some people are using pipe cleaners, maybe twist ties. If you twist ties, twist it up together. Not with paper because that's not washable unless you're going to discard them. Some people in the shop towel tutorial are using paper clips. That's probably going to be a bit harsh, a bit too stiff. Anyway, these are the important things about making a mask. You want it to fit well, you want it to be washable or replaceable, and be very careful how you handle it. And again, not a substitute for the really important public health measures of physical distancing, washing your hands properly, avoiding touching your face, and coughing and sneezing etiquette where you cover your mouth really well, even if you're wearing a mask with the crook of your elbow. Okay, I hope that helps. Good evening to everybody. Stay well until next time.